takes me a little bit of a moment to come back off mute. And Carol, what inspired you or what made you want to become an exercise specialist?
My inspiration for becoming an exercise specialist was that as I started in the fitness field, I noticed that there was a large population that really were not getting the right exercise routine. So I wanted to really specialize in certain areas of fitness, for example, working with an older population, those with cancer, and those with osteoporosis. My inspiration was also that my family members sadly had cancer and other medical issues, and I noticed that exercise helped them feel better and improve their recovery.
Thank you. I feel so lucky to speak to people every day with so much experience in their field. I get to learn a lot. And Carol, can you tell me, to you, what does it mean for you to be physically fit or for others to be physically fit? What does this term mean?
To be physically fit is really depends on the person's goals and the person's age. So for example, someone middle age or older, to be physically fit you would be able to do the things that you want to do, to enjoy activities such as tennis or hiking. Whereas being physically fit, perhaps for a younger person, might be someone who's able to run a marathon or be able to perform more intense competitions. But in short, being physically fit means to maintain a healthy weight, try to prevent injuries, and just enjoy life by staying healthy, avoiding diseases that are caused by not being fit.
Seniors are more or less likely to benefit from physical activity?
I believe that physical activity is especially important for seniors. I work with this population and I've noticed that some of my older seniors are in better condition and healthier than some of my younger clientele because they have been physically active. What happens as we get older, we develop sarcopenia, which is loss of muscle mass and increase in fat. And by being physically active, by participating in a strength training program, you can decrease the risk of sarcopenia. So one should exercise for as long as they can.
Thank you. And in your experience, have you seen older adults or seniors that have signs of fitness addiction or obsession? And what should we look for if we start to see those? What are the signs of fitness obsession?
I've seen many people become addicted to fitness, and it's basically an obsession. Sometimes that happens when people retire and they actually have so much time on their hands that they really don't have a lot of hobbies and they spend hours in the gym. Of course, it's a great idea to exercise and spend the right amount of time in the gym, but spending hours in the gym has been leading to overuse injuries and other problems. So this fitness obsession is certainly an issue. We also see this in some of the younger clientele, almost to the point that they develop amenorrhea and other issues. So I think it's important to limit your exercise to a reasonable amount, the right amount, so you maintain optimal fitness level, but don't develop overuse injuries.
And how do you think that obsession, does it differ from younger adults? You mentioned that they have more time. Is there any other things that are distinct about fitness obsessions in seniors than in younger people?
I think that fitness obsession differs dramatically between young people and older people. With older people, A lot of times they realize that they might be on the back nine, so to speak, and they want to try to be as healthy and fit as possible because people do know that exercise can help prevent disease. So we'll see a lot of people overdoing it for the reasons in a way that are right, but a little obsessive in the amount that they're doing. Whereas a younger person can get obsessed with fitness mostly for just looking their best. They're obsessed with having six-pack abs. And I sadly feel that with the emphasis with social media now and how people spend hours on Instagram and just seeing figures that will really not be realistic for their particular body. So the obsession with fitness is more of cosmetics and just feeling that they're looking good, more so than really for health reasons.
And what should we do in order to support someone that we identify may have a fitness obsession? How can we negotiate that sometimes sensitive area?
So if you're working with someone who is obsessed with fitness, the best thing that you can do is really sit down with them, really make sure they understand that what they're doing could actually be harmful. I believe that if I'm working with someone who is exercising in an extreme manner, if they are not able to decrease their exercise, given my conversation with them, I usually do try to, in a very subtle way, refer them to a therapist, because this could really lead to serious issues. Sometimes it goes hand in hand with eating disorders and other mental type of issues. So I believe that if a personal trainer, physical therapist can't really get to the root of the problem, this really needs the attention of a mental health professional.
Now, we understand that senior citizens are at a higher risk of injury. What can older adults do to lower that potential of risk in injury?
Oftentimes, seniors are the ones that get injured during their fitness programs. And that's due to many reasons. First of all, when they go to a gym or they're working with a personal trainer, it's important to take a full health history. You need to know what the person is all about. Do they have any cardiac issues? What are some of their injuries that they might have had in the past? You don't want to do any type of strenuous jumping if the person tells you that they have a torn meniscus. So the first step is really to get a full health history and understand who you're working with. The other thing that is very important is that if the person is at a high cardiac risk, sometimes it is good for them to use some type of a heart monitor so that they can catch a problem before they actually do have a serious issue in the gym.
And what lifestyle changes can older adults make to maintain their fitness? What's some simple 5 or tips or so that we could suggest?
Well, there's several components of fitness that are important for the older population. So number one would be the aerobic component, to try to get out for a nice brisk walk almost every day. You know, there's certain recommendations by certain organizations, but I feel every day for mental and physical reasons, it's important to go out for a walk, go out for a hike, or do some type of activity that increases the heart rate. It could be hiking, a sport. The other component that should be included in a good program would be strength training. And that would be any exercise to build muscle mass, which unfortunately we start to lose in our 30s. So strength training is a very important component of fitness and should be performed about 2 to 3 times a week. The other thing that an older person has to be aware of, actually the younger population now as well, is their posture. So as we get older, we often get that forward head type of posture or kyphosis. So we want to do certain exercises and stretches to prevent or reduce the head forward posture. And that comes so many times from watching too much television or too much computer or texting. And finally, stretching and balance, and especially balance, because balance can start to deteriorate after age 50. So a good fitness program does include balance training.
And do you find with some of your clients in the senior population, do they experience body dysmorphia as well? And if so, how do you support people through that?
Yes, body dysmorphia is a problem almost with every age, and it is also a problem with the older population. I think that people really don't embrace aging, and unfortunately, they just can't get into the mindset where they should be grateful that every body part works and they have no pain and they're able to do the activities that they want to do. Unfortunately, someone sometimes in their 60s or 70s wants to look the way they did when they were in their 20s and 30s, and that's just such an unrealistic expectation. So when I work with someone like that, I just keep trying to let them know to look at the positive aspects of their life, that they're able to take care of their children, their grandchildren, they're able to get out there and play a game of golf, and to just try to refocus their priorities and really be happy with just being healthy.
And what's a simple exercise program, a simple exercise program that you would recommend for someone in their 50s, 60s, or 70s?
So a simple exercise program would be something that the person really enjoys. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, you're not going to stick with it. So I love the concept of small group fitness, where you get perhaps 4 or 6 people to work together several days a week. And this program can be a combination of all the important components of fitness. It can include some aerobic work, strength training, balance, posture, stretching. And the reason I always recommend small group training is because of the social component of fitness. A lot of times when people stop working, when their kids are out of school, they become socially isolated. And especially in this world now of texting and emails, sometimes that small group class is the only time where people actually have a connection and see each other in person. So I think that is an excellent way to exercise. It's fun, you develop friendships, and it keeps the person on track.
How old is too old for exercise?
There is never an age that one should stop exercising. You would never say that you are too old to exercise. I've been working with people in their 90s that have beautiful lifestyles, they feel no pain, and they're able to do all their activities of daily living and participate in the sports that they enjoy. One of the reasons that they're aging so beautifully, aging so gracefully, is that they have participated in exercise programs, they've been consistent, and now they really are reaping the benefits of being physically active. So it's never too late to start, and you should always continue to exercise. Of course, if you have a medical condition or an injury, you have to work with someone who can help work around those situations. And it's very easy now to find programs for medical conditions such as cancer, MS, osteoporosis, and to find people who know how to work with those who've had knee replacements, hip replacements, and any other type of surgery.
Carol, I'll just ask you to jump up and press pause or stop on the video and then start it again. What this does is give you two files rather than having one really large file.